Hello, everybody. It is Friday. We are here to talk about numbers. We hope that you can join us. We're talking about karmic debt numbers, and today we're doing the 14-5, which Sue is going to explain all about what that is and what that means and how it can affect your life. But before we get going, I just want to invite anybody, if you happen to watch this live, please put your birth date in the comment section or write us a question while we're talking. We'd love to have someone interact while we're doing this. We'd love to take a pause and we can give you a little bit of information if you have questions. So I just want to invite you to don't be shy. Send us a comment. We can see it while we're on here. Comments. If you don't feel comfortable putting your birthday in the comments for us to do your life path or your personal year, you could also send us a private message and one of us will get back to you. So, with that, we're talking karmic debt 14-5. Take it away, Sue.
Yeah. And the thing I want people to realize is it doesn't mean you're a bad person. There's probably 80% of the charts have a karmic debt number in it. And if it doesn't have it, then a lot of times I'm digging because we didn't come here to not experience life. So it's someplace else that they're working through something.
Yeah.
But so a 14-5, 1, 4, and 5, right? 4 and 5 don't get along. Right? 5
No.
is all about freedom. So when you have a 14-5, you're working through learning how to do things in moderation. It's more about being constructive freedom. It's not about jumping in the car, because in a past life you might have abused that freedom, right?
Yeah.
So when you look at the number 1, it's all about self. We'll break it down a little bit, right? The 5 is freedom, expansion, 5 senses, and the 4 is
Work, hard work,
it's the grown-up number.
laser focused.
It's so opposite the 5.
Yeah.
And that's what you're working through. That 4 is trying to help you to ground that 5, trying to give you some discipline, to understand that that you just can't get in the car and drive without your credit card, right? And a lot of times
That's
a
true.
23-5 will do that. A 23-5 will do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a past life, there could have been overindulgence, impulsive behavior, manipulation.
Yeah.
It's all about using the freedom wisely,
Yeah. Yeah.
having adventures and being accountable for them, right? So anybody with a 14-5, sometimes they feel very restless. It's almost like when I talk to them, it's almost like they say, I want to be more spontaneous, but that 4 is keeping the brake on all the time.
Yeah.
It's slowing it down, right?
Yeah.
Now 5 works with the 5 senses, so they can be addictions, and that can come in through alcohol, drugs, sex, because of the 5 senses.
Yeah.
So and the 14-5 it puts roadblocks in your way. So there could be somebody in your family that you're taking care of. It's something really interesting over here. Let me see if I can find it.
Having that freedom taken away, not necessarily from you yourself, but like you said, from a family member
Yeah. 14,
that's causing it.
14-5 can attract partners with addictive personalities
Oh.
or commitment issues. It's a
Oh.
pattern that they follow. And I've done multiple readings with ladies that have said, why do I keep finding these people that are so dependent or take my freedom away from me? That's
Yeah.
because you're working through that. You're trying to learn how to you're trying to break that cycle.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of betrayals with the 14-5 in a relationship, unstable relationships.
Yep.
Yeah. In careers, it could be jumping from one job to another, not being able to focus and stay
I'm surprised I don't
disciplined.
have one from that description.
you, you or I don't have the
No, we
14-5.
don't.
We
No.
have other ones, but we don't
Oh
have
yeah.
that one. Yeah. A
Got a
lot of
few of the
times,
others.
when uh, it's in a life path, you see, because the life path is the stage that you're performing on, the biggest number that we have. If there's a 14-5 in that life path, it's usually something that's put in your life that's holding you down. And I can see that as um, children that need extra help,
Yep.
or autistic children, just something that doesn't give you that freedom. But it's funny when I do see that the parent it's almost like they know that that's what they're supposed to do. They're working through that. It's an unconscious thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What
So
else
how
you?
would it, I was going to ask if so we talk about the life path, which is based on our birthdays, and then we have our birth date, which is based on our birthday, but then we also have our numbers that are based on our name, which is our expression, our personality, and our heart's desire. So what if we could create a character that might have a personality that's a 14-5? What would you kind of create, Sue, in your head? What kind of a person are we talking about?
Yeah, and that's kind of hard to do because there's so many numbers in a chart.
Right.
But if it's working through the letters in your
Mhm.
name and your expression numbers of 14-5, you're expressing that. You're doing that on your stage. So say you have a sixth life path that's all about family, friends, and community, 14-5 expression.
Yeah.
You're working through the family to understand the 14-5. And the other thing I think is very important for people to know is you don't wake up every morning and have to deal with a four. There's a lot of times
Right.
there's an experience that comes in and you have to jump over it. You have to hurdle over it
Yeah.
to oh, I see Karen is here.
Oh, cool.
Hi, Karen. Yeah, so uh it's just the nice thing about numerology is we can pinpoint it and we
Yes.
can say, okay, so this is how it's working in your life. A person with a 14-5, I'm thinking about somebody with a 14-5 that has a life path. And fives are very witty, they're fun, they're very curious about life. They're always um, moving, but again, she would say to me, I don't have that. I can't be spontaneous like I would like to be.
Right.
Everything is very calculated. A
Yeah.
regular 5, a 23-5, 2 plus 3 5, they just go with the flow. They just jump into things. And the 14-5 kind of
Oh,
holds things down.
kind of pulls back a little
Yeah, you have to
bit.
be carry of addiction of gambling too with the
Okay.
14-5
Yep.
addiction.
And when you talk about past lives and this being, the lessons that we're learning through life, kind of explain the thought process behind that when it comes to numerology. Of why are we here? I guess is kind of the question that we all want to ask. And using numerology, we can kind of tell you a little bit about why you're here and what your purpose is. Um, Through that,
Most
I don't know if
definitely.
that question got a little jumbled in there, but
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. It's the numbers will your through your birth date and your name given at birth, it will tell you the energy that makes you who you are, and the energy that's coming in past, present, and future. So we can look at ahead and see what's coming in,
yeah,
and yeah, yeah.
really helpful. Really
It's
helpful.
very validating.
Yeah.
I've only had a couple, three handful of people that have said that doesn't resonate with me. And usually when I have that, I've miscalculated somewhere. So I will get off the call, redo the chart, and get back on, and then
Yeah.
we connect. But usually we know that within five, 5 or 10 minutes into the reading.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
Awesome.
14.5 is a lot about self-discipline.
Self-discipline. Cracking the whip.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Trying
It's
to keep it moving.
right,
Yeah.
right. In a very structured way because of
Yes.
that 4. 4 loves the discipline. Yeah.
Yes. And you had
Actually,
mentioned, so we have the 1 and then the 4, right? The 4 is in the middle. So the 4 kind of, you've described it as a rumbles. It rumbles. It's kind of the
right, it's
the
pushing it.
piece that causes
Pushing
the
that 1 and 5, you know, it's
to
just
do what
kind
it
of
wants.
yeah. Right. When we have double digit numbers, we always add those two together, right?
Yep.
It's the
Yep.
mother and the father
Right.
and the child. So that
Yep.
5 is made up of the 1 and the 4. So that's what that any double digit number, that's how we're looking at it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. So some of the challenges that come with the 14.5 is restlessness,
Mhm.
instability, tendency to be excessive.
Yep.
It can. It can.
Yeah.
Or the 4 can pull it back too, right? Because the 4 can become unbalanced.
Right. Right. And what are some of the traits of an unbalanced 4? Because we talked about an unbalanced 5
Right.
is addiction and the 5 senses
Right.
overindulgence. What about the 4?
The 4 unbalanced is a very stubborn person. They can be very rigid.
Yep.
They don't like change. They don't want change, right? Straight ahead structure. They got that 4 cornerstones. They can be obsessive, fixated on controlling things,
Oh, yep.
which is definitely not the 5 when the 5
Right.
is
5's the
working.
opposite. Really, 4
Right.
and 5 are real heavy opposites, aren't they?
Very, very. And you find that in numerology, every number is opposite the other number.
The
1
next.
is opposite 2, 3 is opposite 4. Yeah.
Yep.
They can, 4 can be overbearing.
Mhm.
So you think about that with a 5, an overbearing 5 um, can be very demanding, right?
Mm,
Almost selfish in a way because of
right.
its
The
need
1 and the 5.
to
Yeah.
fulfill its own needs.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. With that
Um,
imbalance 4. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, hey.
Controlling is big. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. What else do I have here in my notes? Oh yes, 14.5 can bring in the law,
Oh, right. Yeah. 4
right?
law and order. Yep.
Right. So a
Uh-oh.
14.5, sometimes they lose their freedom through incarceration.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a
And
big loss of freedom, right?
most
That's the
definitely
ultimate loss of freedom.
that pulls you right down. There's a lot of
Yeah.
things going on with that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Um, let's see. Caregiving. A
Caregiving. Yeah.
14.5 could be the caregiver,
Yeah.
taking that away. Um, sometimes religious systems pull
Yep.
people back. They don't allow the freedom that a person might carrying the 14.5 might want.
Yep. Yep.
Illnesses, any type of mobility limits that
Yep.
come in. Yeah,
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah,
Well, thank you so much for going over the 14.5.
yeah.
Very, very it's easy for some people, not everybody, but it's easy to kind of hear these things and put them towards a person or relate to. So maybe they have a 14.5 in their path at some point. Maybe
And if
you
you're
know,
living with somebody who you think has a 14.5, get a reading because it's going to
right.
help you to understand how you can deal with that.
Yeah. Where they're
What is
coming from.
attracting you to these people in
Yeah.
this number.
Absolutely. And Sue does compatibility readings as well. So,
Mhm.
if you and your partner, or you and your friend, or you and your child, or, anybody, as long as they're willing as well,
Yeah, and they don't have to be there.
right.
Just as long as we have permission from
Yes.
them that it's okay that we're doing it. Because a lot of times the men don't want to
Right.
And the children. We don't. I love to do children, moms and dads and children, because sometimes we get kind of lost on how what this child might want. And if we look at the heart's desire and we look at their talents and abilities, what can be said?
Yeah, absolutely. It brings a lot of understanding having a reading to your life and other people's lives that you're dealing with on a regular basis. So,
Yeah.
so
Numbers are in everything,
they are.
and
Yeah.
everything can be calculated, and there can be an explanation behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, next time, we will be back here on April 18th to talk about my personal favorite karmic debt number, which is the 16-7. And it's my personal favorite because I have a lot of them in my chart. So it's a
Yes,
challenge I'm familiar with.
and
Um,
16/7 has to do with relationships because of that
does.
six.
Yes, home and family. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Lots of family excitement, let's call it adventures. No, I don't know if
Yes,
it's the right terms, but
yeah,
so we're going to talk about the 16-7 on the 18th. I would like to throw a plug out there. Sue and I will be in Fairfield. And Sue,
Maine,
remind in
Maine.
Fairfield, Maine. Yes, Fairfield, Maine for a spiritual fair. Can you tell me the name of the spiritual fair, Sue? It's
Um,
Mind Body
Mind, body, spirit festivals. Mind, body,
Festival.
spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be there all day that Saturday, the 19th. So you'll see us on Friday live. We will be at the event on Saturday. We might go live for a minute there. I'm not quite sure, but if we do, just to show everybody what's going on. I know Sue's like, I didn't say this
Oh,
thing
that sounds
beforehand.
like fun. No, it sounds like
But
fun.
yeah, we might go live, show you what's going on. It's an amazing fair. It's fully booked with vendors. They actually had a long waiting list of vendors to get in. So there should be a ton of awesome experiences and stuff going on there. So if you are free on the 19th, consider jumping in the car and headed over to
Yes.
Fairfield, Maine.
Get
They are
get
on
a
Facebook.
reading.
Get a reading. Yep, we'll be doing readings there. And there's going to be lots of other different types of readings that are going to be there as well. So we'd love to see you in person. We'd love to answer questions and do a free little reading there. And then it's Easter Sunday. So it'll be a busy weekend for all of us. But yeah, we'd love to have you join, and we will see you the 18th for the 16-7.
Yes. Thank you so much, Chelsea.
Absolutely. See
Bye,
you next time.
everybody.